Oh, welcome to the Axecast. This is the Friday, June 26th, 2026 edition of the Axecast. I'm your host, along with my co-hosts Eric and Luke. Guys, how we doing?
You're good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good time to be a Grizzlies fan right now. Just a couple days ago, the Grizzlies selected Cameron Boozer, third overall. Later in the first round, drafted the first ever Mexican-born player in the first round, and Karim Lopez. And then the next day, in the second round, Grizzlies drafted Richie Saunders from BYU. So I'll give you guys the floor. Whatever you guys want to talk about with these picks. What do y'all think?
Yeah, maybe we just start kind of high level and then we could go one at a time into each person. But I think biggest takeaway is this just reaffirms King Kleiman's status as king and all the people that hate on him for nonsensical reasons and try to say he's not doing enough or whatever, or just dumb. Um, like in a blink of an eye, we went from misery to like back to like being excited to be a Grizzlies fan, like in a span of days because of how the front office managed this draft. Obviously, we got some lottery luck with Boozer to be able to kick it off, and that's the big piece. And we could dive into each of these players. But in addition to that, just the way that they maneuvered this draft, maximizing the value, not only player wise, but asset wise, moving back from 16 all the way to 21, acquiring 5 second round picks to still get the guy we wanted anyways in Kareem Lopez. And we'll get into him. But, if that's the guy they wanted, which it seems like it was, we just acquired 5 second round picks to get the guy we wanted in the first place. And then, also picking up a guy early on day two that a lot of mock drafts had him in the 20s in the first round. So yeah, just was really impressed on what our front office did. And it's just exciting to be excited to be a Grizzlies fan, like we haven't had that feeling. There's been like a dark cloud over us for a couple years. We just got a new medical staff. We had a great draft. And then, yeah, obviously using the picks that we acquired in the draft to go get a guy like Beef Stew is just unbelievable culture fit and basketball fit. So high level, I'm on cloud nine with how these last couple of days unfolded.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same way with that hope. Like we haven't felt that last few years. My dad and I have even been talking about getting like one of those game packs, and I'm living 2 hours away from Memphis right now. It's like that's how excited we are to watch the new season. Yeah, like I think you can see a pretty big contrast between the type of guys we're drafting now and introducing in these press conferences from other players who are kind of holding out from playing and have been getting suspended. Like we're prioritizing like high character guys, people who business first, want to work hard, want to win, and that's definitely going to show. So we got another basketball player of the year. It's kind of reminding me of that double Heisman Titans backfield with Mariota and Derrick Henry. It's going to be really exciting. Looking forward to next year.
Yeah. Eric, I didn't even know what you just said. We got a new medical staff. That's right.
Yeah, so last week, like a couple days before the draft, we announced that we cleaned house completely. It was like Christmas morning.
No, no way.
We completely fired everybody, and we have a new medical, like a new day. It's a new day to be a Grizzlies fan.
Oh man, I may be more excited about that than the picks.
Yeah, right.
Dude, let's go. Yeah, I'm so actually it's actually super ironic because I remember texting like our big high school friends group chat like during March Madness. I'm like, I'm actually kind of low on Cam Boozer. And it may be some bias because obviously we ended up with him and like all the mocks were projecting us to get him. But I think even before then, I was starting to be persuaded of like, hey man, look at all the guys that are like definitely the best players in the NBA right now. I mean, we just watched the Knicks win a title. Who's their best player? Jalen Brunson. Not a super athletic guy, right? That, yeah, I mean, he's not jumping high off the ground And actually, if we really want to dive deep into this, and we'll get to it eventually, we've seen how that the high flying can be a negative thing, actually, in the long run. So, but like Jalen Brunson, Nikola Jokic, Shea, like these guys are not super athletic, and so I think that's why I was like, you know what, maybe him not being an AJ DeBonsta, Darren Peterson level athlete is actually can be a good thing, or I shouldn't perceive it as a negative. So, um, super excited about the Cam Boozer pick, and did not know anything about Kareem Lopez. Luke, you called that though. We got to give you the flowers though. Like last Axecast, you mentioned Kareem Lopez, and Zach Kleiman comes away with it. Yeah, what are y'all's thoughts on what? We'll just start with like Boozer specifically.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Caleb. Like before I did my full on like deep dive for the draft, like I'd seen Cam Boozer play before, and obviously he was impressive in a lot of games. But like, I think a lot of people just saw his March Madness performances which weren't the best, and like he was getting double teamed, and like he's not like flashy off the screen. Like he doesn't flash off and pop off the screen, but like he does everything very well, and like he's very smart. He could be like the center of your offense, whether you want him taking the ball up the court, you could have him down low, you could use him in the pick and roll. He's a really good passer, and he gets a lot of rebounds, and so him next to Edie specifically is such a good fit. Like I would not want to try to get a rebound against those two dudes, but he just does a lot of things very well, and he's got a good head on his shoulder, and he's a leader and a winner. And like just listening to him and his interviews since being drafted, he's got a great head on his shoulders, and that's someone that I want to like start new with in our organization. And then I also think like a sneaky good part of this is we get Carlos Boozer. I feel like he's going to be around a lot, and like he's just a wealth of knowledge, and like just going to be someone that could be able to be around the team, and um, he knows what it takes, obviously, to be in the NBA and succeed. And he had a very successful career. Um, so yeah, I have no complaints at all. And he's still what? Is he still technically 18 or is he 19?
He's 18.
He's 18,
Mm-hmm.
and like all the
birthday's in July, I think.
Yeah, the biggest stigma with him is everyone's like, "Oh, he's like the safe pick," but he has the lowest ceiling. I just don't agree with that. Like he's the youngest guy, and he's been basically the best player at every level he's been. Like imagine like once he's has time to develop in an NBA system and get bigger and stronger and adapt to the NBA. Like I don't know how anyone can put a ceiling on him. Like I'm not saying he's going to be like a generational player or anything. I don't know. Like I don't think anyone could really cap what he could be at this point, just because of how impressive he's been and dominant wherever he's gone. So I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, I thought you both made great points. Like Caleb, there's definitely a correlation between like not being or being super athletic and then having less career longevity potentially. And also like, well, Eric too, with Carlos Boozer, like one of my favorite things about watching the Cam Boozer interviews is like they asked him, what's the best advice your dad has given you? And he said, like, you just have to remain present in the moment, and like you can get like lost, like looking way down the line. But if you attack every day and try to get better some way every day, that's how you really become great. And I think that like really stuck with me. It was like, I thought that was a really mature answer. And like, really, he seems like a super mature guy, like throughout all his interviews. And he's like the youngest person in the draft. He's going to be the youngest person in the NBA maybe. And like for people to say that his ceiling is lower or whatever, he's the youngest person in the draft. So I think the Grizzlies have always been really good at picking out players who other people kind of put in a box and say like, they can't do this, they can't do that, age, like physical limitations, whatever it be. And like people are always surprised at how like good the Grizzlies draft picks end up being. And it's like a combination of probably like finding them and then also developing them, but still it's just a consistent trend. I think we lost Eric or something.
Ah, man. It's always one of us. Like, we can't go a show without one of us just having technical issues.
So, I'll just keep going. Like, I think that really, like, Cam BOOZER already he's the youngest player in the draft, but also he's like potentially right now the best player in the draft. He was the college basketball national player of the year. And I think that he could really make us contend. And I predict that we'll probably make the play-in this year if everything stays healthy. That's like my take for the episode, maybe. Yeah, like his interview was great. He has such a winning mindset. And like Carlos BOOZER, like Eric was saying, wealth of knowledge. Like that's always someone good to have in your corner. I think he's technically on the Jazz staff, but he's also kind of on our staff now too. And like I think from day one, like BOOZER's going to come in, get the opportunity to be the best player on the team. So I think this is a good situation for him, especially because of the fit with Edey, like Eric was saying as well. That's like so many rebounds are going to be gotten, so many paint points. It's going to be really exciting. And yeah, like I said before, like this is the most excited I've been for a season in a long while. So
yeah, agreed. I think I got messed up for a second too, but we're back.
I'm the only one who's in here, right?
From stage.
Now
Wait, are you guys there?
Hello?
I'm here. Hello.
Are you guys back?
Yep.
Am I back?
I see both y'all. Do y'all see me?
Yeah.
I blame Eric. my audio was not working, bro.
Can you hear me?
I could not, like, once you came back, I could not hear Luke. Luke was talking, but I couldn't hear him.
I was saying lots of like interesting stuff. So
yeah, he had good.
I'll go back and watch it.
Thanks.
You me right now?
I hear both of y'all fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you finish making your points, Luke?
Yes, I did.
You did.
Okay. We were talking about BOOZER. Yeah, I think like when you reclass up, like a lot of guys you'll hear, like even just like when we were growing up, like guys will like class down so that they can like look better playing against younger guys. But like when you're younger and you go play with the older people and you're still the best player in the country, like he won the Wooden Award, Cam BOOZER did. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. So, I mean, that's what Cooper Flagg just did. And I'm not saying he's going to be Cooper Flagg, and we don't even know what he is yet either. But, I've become more and more impressed. It's a little bit more of a set shot that he has, but it was right around the 40% mark from three. So that doesn't hurt. And what stood out to me was like looking at his combine measurements. I think he was like just over 250 pounds. So he's a big guy, but I think he was 6'8" and a quarter. So maybe not as tall as you wanted, but like, I mean, we could do the whole Jaren thing with him, right? For the first 4 off seasons of his career, we could be like, oh, he grew 3 inches this off season. He's like 6'11" now, so, we can get ready for that with Cam BOOZER, I guess. But yeah, BOOZER, he's playing in summer league, which I heard Islo say during the press conference. So super pumped about that. We didn't get to see Ja play during his summer league, so I'll be pumped for watching. Do they start in Salt Lake like here in a week and a half or something like that? So
and AJ Devonsa and Darren Peterson are both playing in Salt Lake too.
Oh, nice. Okay. So they got the stars playing. That's uncommon. Usually the top 3 picks like that don't play. So so that'll be fun. We'll really get to see. And then just moving on. I mean, Karim Lopez, I think, like I said, Luke was high on Karim Lopez. I didn't know anything about him. But looking at his highlights, in the NBL league, so that's the same league that LaMelo Ball and R.J. Hampton, and there's a couple other household NBA. I think Joe Ingles was in that league. Like NBA
Yeah.
names that you recognize for sure came out of that league. Um, so it's not too much of an indication about the other names in that league and Kareem Lopez, but the physicality of the highlights in that league was really what stood out to me. So I think obviously that was one of the things that Kleiman was eyeing is can you have that grit and grind mentality that we love to see in Memphis. So um, I'm not super impressed with this shot. That's one of those things that they say he's got to work on. But it just, I don't know about y'all, but this screams like another Santi Aldama pick right here. I mean, that's what it looks like to me, and maybe even plays a little bit more defense. I don't know what y'all thought. What do y'all think?
Well, yeah, I think the NBL, a really good league until like they started getting like all these full-grown adults in college basketball, like madness that's happening now. It was, I think, far and away better than college basketball in terms of competitiveness. I forget who said it, but I was watching an interview about the NBL and there's like about their physicality, and it was they said there's no autopsy, there's no foul because it's like really physical there. And like he's battle tested. He's playing a lot. He was one of the main players on that team in the NBL. And I talked about him last time because I thought he was going to be really good where he ended up. But I kind of said that I don't think it should be Memphis if we take Boozer because I think it might be a clunky fit between the two. I'm still like interested to see how that works out. Probably like Boozer's going to be expected to be a much bigger part of the team day one than Kareem is. But I'm really excited that we got him. And I think he's going to like have a really good opportunity. Like Memphis always develops their guys. He brings a huge Mexico supporting with him. Like every like post about Kareem I've seen the Grizzlies make, it's just flooded with like Mexican fans like saying like go Kareem. So that's cool. He's like really a big hustler. He gets a lot of blocks too. He handles the ball. He does shoot a lot of threes. Could be a better percentage. Yeah, I'm excited for him in summer league. Should be good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna act like I've watched a whole lot of him either, but I kind of did my own due diligence once we got him. I think the Santi comp is fine if you swap two attributes between the two. And I think if you combine them, then we've got a demon on our hands. But they each have one attribute that the other doesn't. I think Santi's a lot like our qualms with Santi is he's a little soft and frail defensively, and he can get bullied around. But he has much better touch with his shot, and he's a lot more consistent with his shot. Whereas it looks like Karim Lopez is a lot more physical, and he can be the enforcer, and he could bruise people and handle, like he could hold up down low, and people can't bully him around, and he could actually bully them. But his shot percentage at least hasn't caught up yet to like what Santi has been able to do for us. So if any of those flips and we, one of those comes to the other, then we've got a great player, I think. It does look like he has some of the Santi-isms, like with his handle. He's got these like funky plays he'll make that like look odd. Like, yeah, he'll do some like Euro moves that like are pretty shocking. It's like, wow, this guy's really talented. To me, his shot form looks fine. Like it looks good to me. It's just his percentage hasn't been great. So, I mean, maybe that's something that can translate in the NBA. But yeah, to me, it's like similar player to Santi, but you swap those two attributes. So I don't mind the pick at all. I feel like to them, he was the best available player, and you're willing to take a swing on a guy like that. Personally, when the Grizzlies came up to bat there at that pick, I was hoping for like Cameron Carr. But it does make sense looking at all the guards we have on our team, why we needed more of a forward, and they're willing to take a little bit of a risk on a guy like Karim Lopez. So I'm totally fine with the shot we took here, and you can kind of afford to do that when you have Cam Boozer in your pocket, and then you have all the assets that you created in the draft, plus all of our future first. So I didn't mind the pick at all.
Yeah. Kareem Lopez. I mean, they had some mocks of him being like all the way up to 11 or 12, right? So and that's what and Klima was able to get all the second round picks, which I saw one CBS studio interview where they're like Zach Kleiman and the Memphis Grizzlies are the best team in the NBA and drafting in the second round. So if Kleiman just gets more of these second rounders, why not? Um, and then lastly, the second day of the draft, round two, I personally was hoping for. I liked Malik Thomas from Arkansas, good 3-and-D guy, and then I like personally like was really hoping that it was going to be Isaiah Evans because I've just been an Isaiah Evans stan. Like he's the prototypical player that I talked about in the last Axecast, and then I just happened to I was like walking out of the flight deck, and then there's Isaiah. I was like, I think that's Isaiah Evans, and he's like he's like kind of mopey because like we flew him from New York to Charlotte, so I was like, he's probably there in the green room. Didn't hear his name get called. Like, I'd probably be pretty upset too. But so I was really hoping it was going to be Isaiah Evans. But then when I saw Richie Saunders and then went and watched some highlight tape on him, because he was advertised as like a 3-and-D guy. But man, then I went and watched like some March Madness highlights from I guess it was the year prior because obviously he had the injury this year. But like you're just seeing all these winning plays. He's diving after loose balls, throwing it off the opponent. He's putting the ball on the floor, getting these floaters, and he's got a nice set shot. That was really as advertised. So I like the pick, and far be it from me to doubt a Zach Kleiman second round draft pick. So yeah, I won't say one bad word about a second round draft pick from Zach Kleiman.
Yeah, because when it was our turn to go again, and even before the second round started, like I got the Shams alert that the Grizzlies are shopping the pick. But then once it was our turn, I guess we didn't expect Richie Saunders to make it that far. And he must have been high on our board, and we just went ahead and were like, you know what, screw it. We're taking him. Because we have such a logjam of players. Like I didn't expect us to pick another guy, honestly, because of how many guys we have on our roster. And we're trying to minimize that. So, I mean, yeah, I totally agree, Caleb. Everyone kind of thinks of, oh, white guy shooter, 3-pointers, but he does a lot more. And if I listen to some of the BYU people talking about him too, and they love him. My comp for him, which this might be crazy, I see a lot of Austin Reeves in him. He has an ability beyond just shooting threes to just make winning plays and like affect winning, whether it's creating for others or like he's got a good mid range, he's got a good floater game, and then he plays tougher defense than people give him credit for, from what I've seen and what I've heard from people talking about him. And then yeah, he's got like the Cam Spencer sicko mentality too. I listened to a couple of his interviews. Like you could hear in his voice how mad he is that he's hurt right now. And he's talking about how he's doing dribbling drills every day. And like he had a quote, I think he was talking to Kevin O'Connor, and he's like, yeah, the first thing I can't wait to do is hop back in the game and like do a swim move on someone and get a steal or something. It's like he's like talking about blowing through a screen with the swim move and making a steal. Like he's like, I'm willing to do anything, put my body on the line, make a winning play. So I'm sure the Grizzlies front office was just all over him, and we're surprised that he fell. So again, it probably feels like we're just homering these guys, but like again, like we just have such a good track record of drafting guys here, in especially later in drafts, and everything I've heard has been great, and I see the vision. So I feel like our summer league team's going to be so good. I know he's not playing, obviously, but we just got guys. We got guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in the same boat as you, Caleb. We get to our pick, and I was like surprised because I was thinking like Isaiah Evans is available, Malik Thomas is available. I'm living in Arkansas right now. Like everyone's obsessed with Malik Thomas. Like Isaiah Evans is a crazy good shooter, and they end up going like Isaiah Evans 33 to the Timberwolves, the pick after us, and then the pick after that was Malik Thomas to the Cavs. So it was a little bit. It was like they were right there. And I have a quick Timberwolves rant, if that's okay for right
Yes.
now. So let me find my notes. So it's about like the non-draft moves they've made recently, past few days. It's like I really am not a fan of what they've got going on. It seems like at first like they have like a lot of recency bias. Like they trade Randall for actually negative. Like they gave him away for nothing. Plus they gave up draft position to like get rid of him. Like seemingly so they can extend Ayadasumu to like this big contract, 5 years, $112 million. And like I think like Dasumu got all that money from one playoff game, like which was an insane playoff game. He scored 43 points when like Edwards wasn't able to play for a while. So like that was nuts, but like now he's got 5 years of over $20 million of stability going for him. And the Timberwolves lost Julius Randle, who's a 3-time All-Star. Then like literally 3 days later, they trade again, acquiring LaMelo Ball, who's another guard. And to get him, they gave up Naz Reid, who great player. I forget if he actually won Sixth Man of the Year or he was
did.
in the finalists for it. He did win it.
Mm-hmm.
So like they give up Naz Reid to go get another guard who, by the way, makes more money than Julius Randle. So I don't know why it was essential to give up Julius Randle for nothing if they're now going to acquire someone who makes more than him. And also in doing so, they've now have Ayadasumu big contract, Melo Ball big contract, and they've lost Julius Randle and Naz Reid, and also all these draft picks I hadn't even mentioned. And so they traded like these two good big guys for two guards, and now like they have Rudy Gobert, but that's pretty much it. And I like their roster is so like lopsided now. It seems weird. They've given up a bunch of assets, and worst of all, I can't picture LaMelo Ball being a part of a serious winning roster. He's like too unserious. Doesn't seem like he's a talented guy, but I don't think he actually is in it to win it, and it's like it doesn't even feel like they thought this through at all. Like they did this huge move to get rid of Randall, and then like 3 days later, you already pivot to LaMelo Ball. Like you invest this stuff into Sumu, and then it's like, okay, well, forget about that. Those 3 days ago, let's do this new thing now. And you invest so much. Regardless, I think that Isaiah Evans did land in a good spot with the Timberwolves where he'll like actually get some playing time probably. But I think that was really dumb of them.
Well, and now LeVar wants them to go sign Jello and Lonzo.
Yeah, now you got him on the hook too. So you don't even, not to mention the poor Minnesotan residents who have to like watch out for their lives on the streets when LaMelo's driving through.
Yes.
Driving the Batmobile through town. But so like regarding Richie Saunders, sorry for the aside.
No, just real quick to piggyback, just to add on to your Timberwolves rant.
Yeah,
I don't care what people say. That cat trade was terrible. I don't care. I don't care that they made 2 Western Conference Finals, and their defense was, yes, I understand, but Karl Anthony Towns was very essential to the Knicks just winning a championship. So, and Rudy Gobert, my disdain for Rudy Gobert cannot be articulated. So, yeah, just to tack that on to the end of your Timberwolves rant.
Yeah, they'd have the funniest roster. They'd have the funniest roster of all time right now if they still had Cat, Ant, and LaMelo. That'd be so funny.
Yeah, that would be comedy.
I think
the least PR trained.
Wait, what?
The least media PR trained roster in the league.
Yeah, like I can think of now like 4 trades, including these 2, that the Timberwolves have made that are just awful. Like starting with that Rudy Gobert, giving up like so many like first round picks to go out and acquire Rudy Gobert, terrible. Then the Cat trade, like giving up Karl Anthony Towns for now essentially nothing. And then now these two that I'm really not sure about, but at least you can kind of defend them. I don't know what they're doing. It's bad. Anyway, real quick about Richie Saunders. He like I watched a good bit of Big 12, so I'll kind of like I did see him a lot, and like after like the surprise of like not getting Isaiah Evans, Malik Thomas, I think I really do like this pick. Like he's another guy that I think fits under the umbrella of like Grizzlies, like finding somebody who's been written off. People don't expect him to be like a good NBA player for whatever reason after he's produced at the highest level he was at, not the highest level, but the level he was at. Like everybody knows, insane shooter. But like y'all were saying, like so much more. Like he will get like so many good drives because people are closing out on him so hard, and he's good at driving, like getting to the paint, like getting like easy layups or fouls. He hustles like crazy. He's like diving for all these things. He's getting a ton of blocks too, like which he's like 6'5", but like and he's still like he cares about defense a lot. And I remember not this year but the last year there was a stretch where he it was like the first time BYU won like 2 straight ranked games in a really, really long time. And like they played Kansas and he went just nuclear, like had over 30 points, something like that. You couldn't miss. And then he went to play Arizona on the away game for them. And like, I know everybody like prides themselves at like not losing at home, but I remember like Arizona really like they had a winning streak of a long time, like not losing at home. And Richie Saunders came in and it was just like, I felt like this guy is just unstoppable. Like he plays like really good. He has huge games in huge games. And it's just like, you can't stop this guy. And he sealed the BYU won by 1 point, and he sealed it by making 2 clutch free throws at the end and then stealing Arizona's inbound pass, and they won that game. So I think like say what you will about his age and his injury. This is a really good pick. And once he gets healthy, I think he's going to be a big contributor.
Yeah, that's it. I would say I'm really impressed with the Richie Saunders stuff that I've seen, just like y'all said. But I will, far be it from me to say a negative thing about a Zach Kleiman draft pick. Like you said it well, Eric. This kind of reestablishes Kleiman. You know, he's had some misses. You know, like we've touched on before, like like the Justice Winslow trade at the beginning of his tenure was a kind of a swing and a miss, and he's not hit on every draft pick, but I would argue it's either him or was it Sam Presti that's the Oklahoma City, one of those two guys for the best GM. Obviously, people would say Sam Presti because Kleiman's in Memphis and nobody cares about us, but our GM, our front office, it's been amazing. So super excited to watch our first rounders play in Summer League here soon. And then Kleiman even mentioned it in his in the press conference that they had a pending transaction with Beef Stew. Isaiah Stewart, the enforcer, is now a Memphis Grizzly. And I'm sure we all are super, super pumped about this. Isaiah Stewart has the reputation already as like the enforcer in the league. So yeah, what do you guys think about the this offseason pickup?
He was born to be a Memphis Grizzly. Like, I've wanted him for some time now, but obviously he wasn't really available and he was playing well. But the initial reaction was like, I was really excited, but then he just looks like he's way older than he is. So like I went and looked up. I was like, is he like 29, 28, 30? He's 25 years old. Like he fits our timeline perfectly. And obviously everyone knows like the clips of him, like his antics, like being an enforcer, like not backing down, just being a demon out there. But like he's a really good basketball player. like I saw like he's like teams are shooting the worst around the rim when he's on the court of any player. Like he has the most impact on rim protection than anyone else in the league. He's super athletic. He's a really good defender. I know Sam Vecini, who's a like NBA analyst. I was listening to his podcast today, and he said that he has him personally ranked as a top 10 defender in the whole NBA. So that was encouraging to hear. And now he gets an expanded role here in Memphis, where the city's just going to embrace him, man. Like the city's already in love with him, and he hasn't even played a minute yet, just because they know he just embodies what Memphis is: hardworking, blue collar, show up, with your lunch pail and your hard hat, and you go to work. And yeah, and it's just going to be great to have him set the tone for this new age of Grizzlies basketball, get us back to where we need to be, and it's also Zach Edey insurance. We need centers on the roster. We don't know how much we're going to get out of Edey every year, I guess, game wise. So it's nice to have someone else on the roster that I would trust him as a starter, bring him in. But if he's not starting, he'd be the best bench player in the league, probably. Like if not the best, one of the best guys coming off the bench as far as impacting winning. I know our guy JB Bickerstaff over there had nothing but high remarks for him, and Pistons Twitter is in shambles from what I've seen. Everyone's so sad that he's gone, and he's just a perfect culture guy to kind of start this new era of Grizzlies basketball with.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like it was like hilarious to me. Like Pistons give us 3 first-round picks to move back in the draft, and we send them right back for Isaiah Stewart. So this is something the Grizzlies have been missing since Dillon Brooks, I think. And Isaiah Stewart will bring that like factor, like you can't quantify it, but like that enforcer thing that we've sorely been missing this. He cares about winning clearly. I was also shocked to see that he was only 25. It's like fits right with our timeline. We all know Zach Edey gets injured all the time. So and he's worth more than 3 second-round picks. Isaiah Stewart is a very good player. I think like the Pistons are like trying to make moves for moves so they can like create flexibility, go out and make a big splash or whatever. But I think like grass isn't always greener. They're going to regret giving us Isaiah Stewart for this much. He was a big part of their team. And especially with all this like Jalen Duren stuff going on, like unclear about whether or not he's going to resign or what, they really could have used him. So grateful for have him on the team. Grateful for the Pistons to give him us for 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks they gave us in the first place. So, yeah, another reason why I'm really excited for next season.
Yeah, and real quick, Caleb, before you go, I thought it was really telling that usually like when Zach Kleiman does his post-draft interview and there's some sort of trade that's happened, like he never brings it up, and someone has to try to like pry it out of him to like ask about the trade, and he'll be like, no, it's pending, I can't talk about it. He went out of his way unprovoked to be like, yeah, we also have this pending transaction that we really like a lot.
Right.
So like he was like so excited to even bring it up. Usually he never comments on that stuff, but he went out of his way. So I thought that was super telling.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It was I remember that question. They were like asking something about like the identity that the 3 draft picks can bring on. And then he was like, yeah, and we've got this other guy that's coming, and he really is like identified. And we're like, whoa, okay. And obviously now we know what it is, but yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just remember like the 1 to 2 years that I became like obsessed with following high school basketball. It was like the year that like Jalen Green was in high school, his senior year. I just remember Isaiah Stewart was on, I think it was La Lemire, and they like went really far in the Geico National Tournament, and they ran into, I think it was the IMG team that had like Josh Green and Jeremiah Robinson Earl and a lot of guys that ended up playing in the league. Armando Baycott was on that IMG team, but yeah, Stewart was like basically doing it by himself on that La Lemire team. I mean, I couldn't name another player on that team, and he got them in a competitive game against a loaded IMG team. So he's just a man amongst boys out there. So, um, but yeah, I'm also just super super excited to root for him. Like he's gonna care about winning, and like I can't get over, I can't get out of my head. I'm at the game. I'm at game 3 against the Thunder, and we're definitely gonna lose this series. But man, the vibes in game 3 are amazing. We're up 29, and Lou Dort clips Ja Morant out of the air, and nobody on our team does a thing. They stand there and they watch, and they do the fake barking at whatever, or like the time that Draymond Green was telling Jaren to shut up. Like
Yeah.
this puts an end to all of that. Like Isaiah, you try to do that with Isaiah Stewart on your team? No, no. That's not gonna fly. And I thought it was also funny. Somebody was also like, somebody also said, LeBron said one bad thing about Memphis, and we went and got his biggest enemy, Isaiah Stewart. Because if you've seen that clip of him just like barreling through people trying to get through to just put a fist in LeBron's face. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about the pick for sure. Reminiscent of our beloved Tony Allen and Zach Randolph and those grit and grind Grizzlies. So, I think he is who we hoped Marcus Smart would be, if that's fair to say. So yeah, really excited about that. And we're just we can kind of see the mood shifting here in kind of how Kleiman is, you know, uh, creating this roster. He's not tripling down on youth again. Like he said, we've got the Taj Gibson. That's still a part of our locker room. I hope he's still on the team. I hope he's. I mean, even if he doesn't play, I hope he's gonna be 41 this year. So like, dude's played in the NBA a long time. I hope that he's just a professional that can show and a teammate of Cam Boozer's dad, Carlos and Taj were both teammates on the Bulls, right, back in the day. So that's crazy.
We still have
So
KCP, maybe
Yeah, we do.
maybe.
for now.
So I'm liking it. I'm liking the roster. I'm not sure that this roster is still good enough to do much, but Cam Boozer keeps saying that they can surprise us. So I hope he's right.
Look, if we're playing 2K and you turn off injury sliders, like if we're just going based off the roster, I actually think we're going to win some games. Like especially like there's no incentives to tank anymore. Like if we just roll out our team, like if we get like a full season of Ty Jerome, Cedric Howard, Jalen Wells, Cam Boozer, Zach Edey, and then off the bench we've got all the guys that we have. Like I don't know. I feel like we could be pretty decent. Like Luke said, like plan or even like 7 up to 7. Like I don't know if I'm delusional, but like we just have a lot of good players. Like off the bench, we still have Cam Spencer, Gigi Jackson, Omax, Javon Small, Santi, Scottie Pippen Jr. Like we have a lot of guys. Like a lot of guys. And I think our starting lineup's pretty good. Like now that we have and I didn't even name Isaiah Stewart in any of those names. Like we still have Zach Edey, Brandon or not Brandon Clark, Cam Boozer starting power forwards. Like that front court's great. Ty Jerome's unbelievable. Ced and Jalen Wells. Like I think we're gonna be decent. So I don't like the notion that everyone's still like, oh yeah, it's gonna be like they're just so young, like they're not going to win games. Like I think we've got enough guys, like on top of the younger guys we just brought in, that like we could be somewhat competitive. That's my hot take.
I'm with it.
There was a stretch like 2 weeks last year where Zach Edey was actually healthy and playing, and we were winning games. I think we had like a winning record during.
I want to say we went 8-3.
Yeah.
in the games that Edie played.
Yeah.
Again, this is injuries pending, but we have a new medical staff. So
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
takeaway of this.
we got rid of our North Sentinel Island trained medical staff from a tribal country. Hopefully, we have an actually licensed medical staff.
Yeah, I hope so. Let's see. So yeah, Cam Boozer in the picks, and really just kind of the last topic of conversation. My concern is mounting by the day, especially now that we are post draft. That we are not going to move on from the Ja Morant era. And what's actually growing my concern as well is that these additions to the roster, both with the draft and free agency, or with the, I guess it was a trade with Isaiah Stewart, but these additions are kind of tailored to a Ja Morant centered roster. And with his, I said, I don't think it was last Axcast. I think it was even one or two before that. That his trade value is not going to go up with him not playing games. So, and it has stayed that way. And I think personally it swung too far the other way. I'm like, hey, we are talking about a guy that was second team All NBA as like a 23-year-old, and he's still what, 25, 26. So, theoretically his best basketball days could still be ahead of him. And, people gamble on talent all the time. I'm surprised that he hasn't had any suitors. I guess it really is just that much of a red flag. But yeah, my concern is growing by the day, especially with him just posting stuff. Like he posted a picture of like him at Tomley Park, and then he's like paddleboarding over like just across the street at Shelby Farms. So yeah. What are y'all's thoughts?
Well, I think there's two things that could be true. I think I still can believe in Ja Morant as a player. Like if there's a world where he's healthy and playing games and could be a playoff riser like we've seen him be and like a very great player. But there's a disconnect between that and reality. And the reality is he just can't stay on the court. And when he has been on the court, his shooting has regressed. Now, the reason why teams aren't, because you would think, like, even with all the stuff that's gone on around Ja Morant as a player and off the court, like, again, like in the playoffs, you've seen Ja Morant like rise to the occasion. And like, why wouldn't a team try to take a flyer since his value is so low on him? The reason's the contract extension. I think he's eligible for like a 3-year, $180 million extension. And no one wants to pay that price tag for Ja. That's the thing. So like, and I think the relationship with the front office in Memphis has gotten so torn that like that we don't want him to just play some games this year and then trade him. Like I think we've reached the point of no return to where like that's not even a feasible thing. We're just hoping that there's a team that would take him off our hands. But again, that doesn't mean Ja Morant can't be great one day still. But like you can't make a long-term investment in a guy that A, doesn't play, B, hasn't really been a leader for our team. It's been more of a detriment than anything within the leadership department, and C, literally can't shoot and has lost his shot. Now, it doesn't mean some of those things can't get better, but he hasn't proved it. And going into last season, Zach Kleiman literally said in like the preseason interview that this is a big year for Ja. Like this is the year that he's got to step up and prove it with the extension looming, and he didn't do that. So like it's not on the front office anymore to like mend the relationship with Ja and figure it out. Like it's the ball's fully been in Ja's court to play games and be great. And then everything will fall in his lap to be able to get that extension. But since he hasn't done that, the Grizzlies don't want to extend him at that, invest on that price point, and other teams don't really want to take the risk either. So that's kind of where the standstill is at, is like it doesn't mean Ja Morant can't contribute to the Grizzlies or contribute to another team and be a great player. It's just the price tag that's associated with it, given all the risk. It's just not feasible. And then obviously the clashing that he's had with Tomas Isolo, because Isolo to me seems like he's a very intense coach and doesn't put up with BS. And it seems like the Grizzlies front office has given Ja too much freedom as far as kind of running the show, and during his tenure on the Grizzlies, just given him too much rope and freedom to do whatever he wants. And then I feel like Tomas just kind of has a completely different view on things and probably didn't want to put up with that. So that's kind of my stance on it is, I think the ship is completely sailed here. But again, I'm still a Ja Morant fan. Like, I want him to succeed, but I just don't see a world where that's still on our team.
Yeah, I'm also still a Ja Morant fan on the court. I think he's an incredible player, like super athletic, super clutch. Like all these call 12 moments were like some of the best like Grizzlies moments I can remember, like recent history. Just like I think it's tough because it seems like we never got a shot in the playoffs with him and at the helm of our team when not like everybody got injured. And he's part of it too, but like who knows what could have been. And you're right, like we definitely like gave him too much rope and he wasn't responsible enough to handle that. And like clearly the front office has reached the point of no return, like you were saying, Eric. And I personally, I think like Caleb was saying, he's too talented of a player to like completely like write him off and forget about him, and like he'll just go off to Narnia or something. Probably once like all these smoke clears and there's no more Antetokounmpos, no more LaMelo Balls to be had, teams are going to be like, okay, what now? Now is the time when people start getting desperate, start making Timberwolves decisions and like trading for people. And I think if we have to give up picks to get rid of them, I would rather just like, okay, we'll eat this. And because do we really need that cap space right now with all like these rookies and small contracts? I think it'll be okay. Anyway, it's sad that it's come to this point, but I agree that probably we won't see him playing anymore.
Yeah, and real quick, Luke, I agree totally on the buyout thing. Like, especially with the way this draft has gone and how we do have a clear identity moving forward. We have a clear vision. We kind of turn this thing around. We have so many young guys and exciting players. Like, he's kind of the last thing that's just kind of stuck together with this new thing we're building. So, like, if that means cutting the ties off and just eating the money, I think that's personally fine. And I could already see us doing that. And then maybe he has a good season or two and somewhere else, say like Sacramento. And then people are like, oh, the Grizzlies were so dumb. But like, regardless of what that outcome would be, I still think it's the right decision no matter what from the Grizzlies perspective. We've turned the page. We've reestablished what we want. Winners, people that care, people that are leaders, tough physical guys. And he's clearly not able to hold his end of the bargain to that standard. So I think no matter what, if we can't even get trades for him without having to attach picks, I would cut the cord still. And I'm a Ja fan, but that's where I'm at logically.
Yeah, just to reiterate what y'all was saying, I again also want success for Ja, and like even from just the standpoint of like, dude, he's given me, like you were saying, Luke, some of the best memories as a Grizzlies fan. I mean, it started during the grit and grind eras, but like some of the highest highs of a Grizzlies fan have been because of the greatness of Ja Morant as a basketball player. So I want what's best for him, and unfortunately, what's best for him is probably just a change of scenery at this point. You know, like I said, and it's just dragged on. I mean, it's been years at this point, where it's just been like the butting of the heads, and we fired the last coach, and Taylor Jenkins is going to be great. Milwaukee, right, is where he went. So I think he's going to be great there. And but yeah, it's just it's tough. It's tough. I want like you're saying, Eric. I want success for Ja, but at the same time, don't really want to see him in a Grizzlies jersey. But like I said, Kleiman seems really stubborn about not giving up picks for him, not doing this deal with a negative at a negative trade value. And I don't see like if he's going to keep being stubborn and the picks are still going to be required to deal him. I'm. It seems like neither of these two things are going to give, and the conclusion to that is he's still on the Grizzlies roster come opening night. So we'll see.
Yeah, I just feel like he's waiting. He's calling teams bluff probably, and like Luke was saying, like now is kind of the time where teams are going to start to be desperate and try to do something. So I think he's betting on someone to, fall into that. But I'm shocked that he did not get moved before the draft, and we're sitting here after it, and he's still on our team. So it's
awkward too, because like BOOZER was gonna be like number 12, but now he can't, because Ja Morant's still on the team, but we all know he's trying to get dealt. So it's this awkward thing of like you can't move on yet.
Yeah, Giannis going to the Heat kind of blew it up because I thought the Heat were like a pretty safe bet to be on the Joss sweepstakes.
He just doesn't fit Heat culture, I don't think.
Not anymore, but I don't know.
I think Phoenix or Houston could be possible suitors. Brooklyn, but I don't know. They just took a stupid contract with Randall, so
I saw the Raptors were interested, but I don't know.
Like they have Darko over there.
They do have Darko.
Oh, they do have Darko. Yeah.
Or
they need a point guard.
Taylor.
The Bucks, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's looking bleak.
I think Taylor Jenkins is a really good rebuilding coach, and then maybe once the time to start being competitive is here, you can. I don't know about that.
Yeah. Again, like even with Taylor, like I thought he was a pretty good coach, but he again just with all of our injury luck, I can't decide whether it was fully his fault because I know I didn't like his rotations when stuff mattered, but he was also dealing with such an injured roster.
Yeah.
That to me, I still think he's a good coach, especially when he's rebuilding a team. But yeah, I can't decide whether he'd actually be a good coach when it matters.
Right. Yep. Well, those were all the draft picks, the major trade that's happened, and the latest edition of the Ja Morant saga. So now it's just going to be, what we see in the summer league. We're all super excited about that. I think Cedric Coward was named first team all rookie since we last spoke. So congrats to Cedric Coward of continuing the tradition. It seems like a yearly tradition at this point to have a Grizzlies player make an all rookie team. Like ever since we've begun the Kleiman era, it seems like we've just had somebody make the all rookie team. So that's great for Coward. We hope that he continues to improve going into his second year. Is there any hopes that you guys have for free agents as we kind of move into the second phase of the offseason?
Not really available. Not really sure who's available. Haven't looked into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just have so many guys right now. Like
that's true.
We have to consolidate. I think I counted 20 or 21 guys technically, including the two ways. A couple of them, like we can't go into the season with this many. So like I don't know what something else has to give, and I guess it depends on the Ja situation, but like there's gonna have to be movement still, and with free agency adding more guys, I don't know what the plan is there. So it's gonna be interesting how we kind of consolidate and make decisions on some of these guys, but yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
LeBron James is a free agent.
Oh, he loves Memphis.
We could get him.
Dude, I think he's always wanted to be here. I think he's a Warrior.
Oh, that would be so. I think that's ruining his legacy if he joins the Warriors.
Luke would just implode if LeBron goes to the Warriors.
I would. But how could he do that? He played so many games against the Warriors. That would be so dumb.
Treason.
Literally treason. No, you can't do that.
He doesn't have loyalties like that.
It's treason then.
It's treason then.
Isn't it just fun to have hope as a Grizzlies fan again?
Yeah.
It feels like the dark clouds off of us.
Not entirely because of the Ja stuff, but
that's the last little cumulus cloud staying over.
Cumulonimbus.
Cumulostratus or something.
Cirrostratus.
It's I would say it's more of like a warm front because it's kind of slow moving. So, it's probably more of like a cirrus cloud, but I get your point.
This is pilot knowledge or something.
Guys, that's all the topics that I had planned for us. That's really all that I had planned. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to cover? Sweet, man. Well, it's been fun talking Grizz with y'all again. Dude, I think it's cool every single time, like how we continue to keep talking Grizz and keep the Axe Cast going. I mean, I think like if we do it for like another year and a half, it'll quite literally be 10 years.
That's
like since us like recording on a Air MacBook, like they weren't posted and they weren't on this format, but it's crazy how like it's evolved into like, and we've even been doing the YouTube for a minute now, and for the longest time we didn't even do the YouTube. So I enjoy it every time, and it's crazy that we've kept it up this long. I hope it keeps going and going and going. So
sure.
All right, well, signing off for now. I'm your host Caleb with Luke and Eric. This has been the Axe Cast. We'll talk to you guys definitely before the new season starts.